Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I've been playing with some pancake coils today, and I just want to show you something interesting that I found out. And I'm not sure the significance of it, but we shall soon see, shall we? I'm powering. I've got tip 35C, tip 35C here, 2K pot, a stack of pancake coils. There's 6 altogether. Well, 7 altogether. The middle one, there's one in the middle which is connected to the transistor and is running like a dual thief circuit. There's that piece of paper with the circuit on. Where's the circuit diagram? I'll put up a diagram for you now. Alright, so it's like that. I've got 3 on top and 3 underneath, and they're all in series, connected all the way down, and then I have 2 outs. 2 outs. It's coming out AC and getting rectified here. My drive battery that I'm using today is just some of these vape batteries. The drive battery right now is on 2.26 volts, so it's very, very low power going in, 2.26 volts. Let me just connect it up and figure out what's going on. This is the negative of the battery, and this is the positive of the battery. So I'm going to turn it on, and now you got to keep an eye on the transistor. Transistor's cool. I'm just going to check the output on the AC. And on the DC out, I'm getting 20 volts, and at the moment that DC is going nowhere. I think I've got the out from the DC. One is going into this side of the spark gap, but I'm not actually spark gapping it, I'm just using it as something to hold it. And the negative of the spark gap, I don't know if you can see, the negative of the AC, I'm putting it into the ground via a capacitor and a resistor, and that's going off to the door of my shed, down straight into the ground. I've got these, it's not really that big a ground, but it's a beast of a peg nailed in. It's about a foot long, maybe a bit longer than a foot, into the ground. That's the negatives going into that. Positive is coming to this side of here, so we've just got positive on this side. Then what I'm doing is I have another ground coming in the side of my shed. The ground is out there, the same peg, but 10 meters away over there. That ground is coming in and is attached to here. Don't need that wire right now. Okay, so I've just got ground, that's the power. I've just got ground coming in on this side. When I put my voltmeter, when I measure the voltage, so this side is the ground coming in from the ground, and this side is the positive from the coils, I'm still getting 14 volts. So just to emphasize, this side is just a wire coming from the ground over there at the end of the garden. Just a wire, and I'm getting 14 volts. When I disconnect the one that's going into the ground from the coil, which is a separate ground at least 10 meters away. I'll try and figure out how I can do this. I'll just put these next to each other for now so I can hold it in one hand. Okay, so there's my voltage between the positive of the coil and the earth ground that's just coming in over there. When I disconnect this side, the other earth ground that's going into the ground, the voltage drops to 0. So there must be power coming from through the ground. It's going through the ground, it's coming out the coil, connected it again, it's coming out the coil, negative, which has been rectified. It's going into the ground at the door of my shed, which is behind me. And then I have another ground which is in front of me down the end of the garden, 10 meters away, just connected to this side. That's all that wire is just the ground connected. And the voltage is coming through there. So just enlighten me as to what's happening there. Is the earth being a capacitor? Am I transmitting through the ground? What is going on with the ground? I also found it interesting that the voltage on here, I mean, I can get this going up to like more than, I don't know how many volts, more than 1,000 volts is what it can get down. I'm just going to clip on the meter so I don't have to hold it anymore. So I'm just going to clip the negative to the meter. I don't know if you can see it. The meter's on 11, 12, yeah, 11 volts, yeah. Then that's with zero resistance. When I increase the resistance going to the coil, it drops to like, doesn't work anymore. So zero resistance, almost turning that off. If I short it out, I'll just see what happens if I short out the resistor. So there is literally zero, I'm certain there's zero resistance. So right there I'm just shorting out the variable resistor. And yeah, it seems like when there's no resistance going to the base of the transistor, and you see how the way it's set up is the positive goes through the coil, spinning around, and comes out and goes to the base of the resistor. So, and the resistor's cold. There's no temperature on the resistor. Just interesting. I'm just wondering what people think about this. If I disconnect everything and just measure the voltage, if I disconnect everything, just measure the voltage straight out, positive, negative. How was I doing it before? I try and remember. So if I just disconnected everything, to get all this stuff out of the way, this is all out of the way. So all I have is I have the transistor doing its stuff. And I just have the positive and the negative. What kind of voltage do I get just if I take it straight off the positive and the negative? So negative out and positive out. So I am getting pretty much the same voltage. So it is going through the ground though. That's the interesting part. It's definitely going through the ground and coming back again, which is so interesting to me. I just wonder what people think about that, being able to complete the circuit through the ground. I just think it's so interesting to me, to the point that I can charge a capacitor. So what I was doing is I have the negative going to the ground on this side, I have the positive connected to one side of the cap, and then I have the other, so the negative side of the cap is attached to the other earth ground coming in, and the cap charges up. But of course I don't think there's any strain on the circuit because it's going into the earth. It doesn't put any strain on the transistor or anything. I'm just interested, wonder what you think. Let me know. If anyone knows what's going on, let me know.